Alrighty, everybody. I know this is not the normal time that I go live or I do content, but I just got this wild hair that I wanted to go live and do some content this morning. So here we are. Yes, I know I'm on the just starting screen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flip the screen here in a second, and we are going to go through my adventure with the question mark delve that we completed last weekend. I am going to have a different format screen for once too. So, alrighty, so we're going to go with this screen right here. So, what is going on this morning, everybody? Welcome to the channel for anybody that's new. My name is Sonova. I am a avid World of Warcraft JRPGer and Pokemon Go player. And I felt like this morning doing something a little different and giving you guys a guide on how to do the Underpin question mark delve. Now, I went in here as a Ret Paladin. I actually went in here with the Herald build after the buffs. I was about a 660 item level when I completed this. It took me quite a bit to learn the mechanics of this encounter. However, we're going to full screen it. That's what we're going to do. There we go. It took me quite a bit to learn the mechanics of this encounter. But after I learned the mechanics of it and actually found the build that actually worked best for it, it kind of became second nature. Trying to figure out what to do, when to do it, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the play button here. This is the stream I did Saturday night after I got done with Raid. Because I decided, you know what? No, it was Friday night. I raid over on Storm Rage with the Guild Eclipsed. I am part of the Luster Bus team, a new team that just got started within the past few weeks. Really, really great group of people. But yeah, we're going to go through some of the stuff that I did for this delve. Now, what I took was the one where that drops the turrets, and then I dropped I used the thing that basically makes copies of the elites. Don't know the name of them off the top of my head, and I know it's terrible for me to sit there and try to do this kind of video without going into this, what I use. But let's see if I actually show it. Hold a second. So this is where I'm sitting here, right here. There we go. Do I show? Do I show the talents? Okay, I think this is one of the pulls I did. I'm actually in here, so I'm in here with Braun as a DPS, as a healer. Okay, pause it. My Braun's a healer. And he's using... I should have been a little more prepared, I know. I know I should have been a little more prepared, but this is kind of like one of those spur of the moment things. I wanted to try to do something, a little different. So I'm using the overdrive pylon. Yes. Hey, wait a minute. Is that what I'm using? No. Let me see real quick. I'm not using whatever Wowhead suggested, that's for sure. It's like I've been playing with the Curios and stuff like that. It's that season. Okay, we're going to look at Season 2 real quick. So what I'm using Curio-wise for this kill... let's see. I'm using the Pocket Factory. So the Pocket Factory is the main one I'm using for the Combat Curio, and the three-dimensional Biocrit is what I'm using for these attempts right here. So I don't know if this is an attempt pull or not. Let's check it out though. And I noticed the other day my WoW sounds do not come through on stream, so that's usually why you only hear the music and you don't hear the WoW sounds. You hear the music and the music. I don't. Okay, I think I was doing something there, and all right, let's get into the pull. Okay, okay? We're going in and pulling. Okay, so when you pull this guy, hold a second, pause. You want to pull him right around here. All right, I don't know if my mouse is showing up on the screen. Yes, it is. So when you pull him, you want to pull him back here, because what you want to do is around here, around the edge of the room, you just want to kite him around the edge of the room. Because if you kite him around the edge of the room and say, okay, he ends up spawning his little cronies. After a while, after he drops bombs and stuff like that, he'll spawn his cronies. If you tank him in the center, they're going to have cronies spawn over here and over here. And if that happens, you're going to have a bad time, because you're going to try to sit there and kick the bombs. Now, if you're a DPS, it's 3 bombs you have to kick. Aim for the center one. You'll end up taking them all out after 3 bombs. If you're a tank, it's 2. So that's the difference between healer and tank on that one. On that tank and DPS on that. Tank takes a little bit more. I've not done this as a healer, so I can't really speak about it from the healer perspective. But as a DPS, 3 bombs directly to the center will take all the cronies out. That's why you kind of want to have him in an area like over here or along this wall over here, is for the fact of you want to keep them together. Because if you tank him dead center in the center of the room here, you're going to have them spawn over here, and you're going to have a bad time trying to take out the little cronies, because the little cronies are a pain in the ass. I will say that straight up. They are a pain to deal with, so this is, I think, one of my pulls. I don't know if this is a white pull or not. Okay, so when he throws out the flamethrower, you don't want to stand in front of him. You can pivot to the side and then pivot back in front of him, because the attack has already gone out. So what's happening here is just the rest of the animation. Okay, I'm pulling him back. You want to dodge the swirlies on the ground, obviously, because if you stand in them, you'll die. I learned that quite a bit. That is not a fun thing to do. Okay, those are the cronies. Those are the cronies. So you see where I have him here. All right. The cronies are here lined up. Wow, that looks better on stream than it does on my computer. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, Platinum? I ain't seen you in a hot minute. I also haven't been live this early in a hot minute. So I figured I'd do a tutorial video for how I got the Underpin done Friday night, because there's people out there that are still having problems with it, and it's like it's a pretty hard challenge. Currently, it's live in 11.1 in World of Warcraft. So what you been up to, man? Right now, I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I'm kind of doing this. I actually have like a how-to video. What's going on, Zeros? How you doing, bud? I'm kind of doing this so I have a how-to video over there on YouTube on how to do this, because I completed this on Friday, and I know there's people that are having problems with it. So I figured I'd go live and do this. So yeah, sorry I couldn't talk a whole lot this morning. I was eating and finishing raid, and sometimes when I get out of raid, I'm like kind of like on a slump. But also, like, just one of those things when I'm done with raid at night. And I hadn't eaten in 2 days because of all the crazy stuff going on. Dude, the in-laws. The in-laws. Platinum can tell you some stories. He's heard them yelling in the background before, but dude, you know, yeah. Father-in-law decided to act like he was Tarzan in the middle of the night. last Tuesday, going down 158 from where they live at over to Revlon in Oxford. He thought he was Tarzan. No, George of the Jungle. That's what it was. George of the Jungle. That's what. So. But all right, back to... I get sidetracked sometimes. Sorry about that. But let's get back to the video here. All right, so the reason why I had him there is because you want these guys lined up here, because if you try to tank them in the center over here, the guys are just going to appear everywhere, and you're not going to really have a focal point where to kick the bombs at. So, figured... So, basically, you want to keep them on the outside here. So, all right, let's go. This is probably one of the attempts where I die. You can see how I'm kicking the bombs there. Now, at some point, I'll get a little flustered here with this. And it's easy to get sidetracked and get clipped by things. But I'm using the Herald build. And I'm using those two curios on Braun. The turret and the bioprinter. All right. So as you notice, I've pulled him. Can I click the center of the screen? No, I got to keep clicking the corner. So if you notice, once those guys died, I started pulling him over this way. So you want to actually not have... Because if you tank him there, or you try to face tank him there next to ads that are dead, he'll start spawning ads on each side. And it'll become a nightmare to deal with. All right, this is the part right here. He goes through recharge at 80%, then 60%, then I think 40%, then 20%. And if you don't burn this shield down... My audio keeps cutting out. Hold on a second. Let me check it real quick. Test. Test. Okay, hold on a second. Let me turn it up. Okay, test. Let me turn it up. Test. 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 Okay, let's try this real quick. I'm going to try something. Okay, let's try this real quick. Test. I'm going to try something. Okay, let's try this real quick. Test. 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 No, don't like that one. Test. No, don't like that one. Test. Okay, that one sounds better. Turn it down. Okay, that one sounds better. Turn it down. Test. Test. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to test out these settings when you're live trying to do this stuff. So, yeah. The in-law, father-in-law thought he was George of the Jungle the other night driving down one of the back roads going to work. Yeah, he totaled a car. So the last past week has been hell for me. So the reason why you see me... Oh, first, the reason why you see me moving this guy here is because if you tank him right here where these guys are at, right over here, okay? What'll happen is he'll spawn ads over here and on the opposite side. You want to take them to a fresh area so you can actually have the ads spawn in a line. Because if they're split up, they're a lot harder to take down. Now, also this shield, you want to burn through it, because if you don't burn through it, he'll heal for 25%. You don't want him to heal. You don't want him to heal at all. So, this might be one of the ones where I ended up dying. Not sure. But we'll get to the kill video. I wanted to go over what happens here. Okay, the puddles of stuff he spawns on the ground. Here. Alright? They're not going to kill you. Alright? The puddles won't kill you. It's just, it'll be like... It's kind of like walking on ice. It makes it slippery, so you kind of want to be able to use either a movement speed through it. So also don't be afraid to go into it if none of this stuff's going off like it is right now. To actually kick the bombs into the ads. All right, there we go. I run out of it, and I'm over there waiting for him to move. Also, when he jumps, do not stand in his circle, because he will kill you there too, like that. Those lines, they come out of his little buddies. Dodge them the best you can. Standing in the line will not kill you. However, if you get hit by the ball, it won't kill you. It'll do a lot of damage, though. And it's a lot of avoidable damage. So you want to move out of that. Now, I think this is probably the one where I goofed and I got hit by a whole bunch of stuff and got killed. Because I'm sitting there. Also, another key thing, the bombs. You want to have an action key binded. An extra action key binded and not click. Because it'll make your life easier for this. Like right here, my key that I have binded is the F key. So where I do WASD to move, I just move from D to F to kick. The interaction button. So you want that for sure. There's the shields again. I believe we're at 60%. Yep. All right. We burn the shield down. We want to get them to move again. Now, if these bombs go off and none of these guys are out to kick them into, try to kick them out of the way. So they're not, so that way you don't actually get caught in the crossfire. Because sometimes, if you're not paying attention to these bombs and there's none of these ads out currently, it makes it a lot harder to get those bombs down. So make sure you do that. Like this one here. I kind of freak out a little bit here because that bomb is there, so I start running behind everything. I think this is one of the ones I get gibbed on. Let's see. Stay out of the lines. All right. I didn't get clipped by that one, thank God. All right, there we go. Kicking it right into that guy. See, some of the ones I kicked. See, there we go. I got killed. I kind of got panicky there. Line was going out. But you want to try to aim for the center one, because if you don't aim for the center one, then it's not going to hit the other two here or the other two here. So if I hit the one there, it's going to hit these two. If I hit the one here, it's going to hit these two. You aim for the center one, you're hitting all 5 of them. So there we go. I think this is the attempt where I actually killed him. We're not going to talk about how many times I died on this to learn this. So I know there's some. This is not an easy challenge. You've got to be able to push DPS at DPS checkpoints, and you've got to be able to go through burn. You also have to know how to maneuver mechanics, and mechanics are for more than just cars. I know that's a Final Fantasy XIV saying that mechanics are for cars, but you need to be able to do the mechanics and burn through the shields. Mechanics in this fight are absolutely paramount. They are the most important thing in this fight that you could actually do. Do the mechanics, even if you got to sit there and like slow your damage a bit, so that way when the shields come up, you have time to burn through the shield without a whole lot of mechanics going on. Now you'll notice on the kill, like when I got towards the end, I was just kind of like throwing mechanics to the wind, but that's because I was dodging the red lines actually really well. So getting our food buff going. Yeah, I did this at like I got 659 item level, so either in 659, 660. Right now, my red's item level is 663. So, all right, I'm pulling them back over here. Round 2. Like I said, Braun is a healer with those 2 curios on. The bioprinter and the pylon. The pylon was really good for this, by the way. So don't sleep on that one. I know everybody's like, well, what about the mechanical Tyrannosauruses? Yeah, they're all right. But, all right. So, as you can see, I'm right here. I get in there. I kick the one to the center. Aim. Kick that other one to the center. Now, when you kick all 3 to the center, like that, granted, that one at the end only has a little bit left on it. I kicked that over a little too far. But, there we go. We got it down. Now we can actually focus on doing some damage. Don't stand in those circles. They'll kill you. All right, bringing him to where I want him. So that's why you move him to where... The reason I am moving him from those dead ads is because if I would sit there and basically face tank him in front of those dead ads, what would happen is he would spawn the ads on the outside of the dead ads. So I would have either 2 on one side and 3 on the other, or 2 on one side and 3 on the other. And you kind of want all 5 of them together. And you'll see at certain points during this pull that I didn't always perfectly do the kiting, or some of the ads just jumped into weird places, so... Alright, there's the shield. We got to burn it down. So that's what we're doing. We're burning down the shield. And we're about to break the shield. We broke the shield. Now, he's going to start launching bombs everywhere, which is great. And the puddles, do not freak out. Just use a movement thing, and a movement ability, and get out of it. All right. Dodge the red lines always. Like I said, standing in the red lines isn't going to hurt you. But standing in the red lines when the orbs come out, that is going to hurt you. All right. You'll notice the ads kind of jumped around a little weird there. Oh, no, those actually lined up perfectly. So, okay. Flamethrower, move out of that. Another shield. So we are now at 65%. We're getting down the shield. We got through the shield. Now we got to watch out for the puddles. You want to kind of keep them where they're at so you can actually maneuver around them. All right. We're doing the things. All right. Those are the ads. Is that the one? Yes. Yes. So if you noticed where I had him at, all right, it got a little janky. So these 2 ads that usually would spawn over here got moved over there. And then these ads over here got spawned. It's not the end of the world if that happens. You'll just have to end up kicking more bombs around. So, like I said, it's not the end of the world if that happens. So, but it is recoverable. It's just, like I said, placement is like really big on this encounter, though. All right. Notice I got hit by a ball there. It's not the end of the world. We got to get in there. There we go. We kicking bombs. I don't know why I'm S-keying out of that. That was just really bad to do. But that does... it happens. Especially getting as far as I am right now. This is probably... No, I got to 20% before. But, you know, when you're doing this kind of stuff, sometimes keeping things in check. All right, got another shield. We are at 53%. So it's kind of weird how they are. They were supposed to do it like every 20%. Or I think after the first one's like every 45 seconds. All right. So I think this is the one where he starts spawning the ads, and one ad will spawn there and the rest of them will spawn here. No. Okay, yeah, those lined up perfectly that time. So we're trying to kick the bombs out of where they're at. Also trying to dodge the lines. Like I said, you can run through the lines. If you have an immunity or like a defensive pop it if you think you're going to end up getting hit by any of the bombs. And I'm sitting there just wailing on those for a little bit because the bioprinters doing damage to anything that's below 40%, the bioprinters will actually react. All right, got the shield up there. We were waiting for bombs to appear. That didn't happen, so... Downing these shields, having a few of these up, isn't a problem. Just don't stand in the red lines. Pretty simple. Just don't stand in the red lines. All right. Now we're working on the last one. Okay, get him down. All right, he's down. So now we move out of that. Move out of that. Like I said, you don't want to stand in the red swirly circle while he's jumping or you'll die. Now those, okay, these guys, for some reason on the corner, these get lined up kind of janky. These 4 will appear here, but for some reason here, I don't know if it was where I was standing, but the 5th one got shoved over here. I think this is the part of the fight where I take out these 4, I try to throw something at the last one, but I kind of like, we're at that crescendo of like 20%. So if I can sit there and dodge, because when you get down to 20%, there's a point where you can just ignore the ads because there's not a whole bunch out. Now, if you have ads everywhere and you haven't been dealing with them, yeah, you're going to have a bad time. All right. Let's see. I go over here. I toss the bomb. I kick one of the bombs. And he's shooting out more bombs. So this is where I end up dealing with these. The pylons are huge for this, by the way. They were really good for this. Oh, yeah, we have that one that's up over there. I want to try to deal with it, I think. No, there's two up. That one over there, I don't understand why that one spawned. It should have spawned next to that one, but it is what it is. Now, we've got one up. We got it at 28%. We're dealing with the shield now. We get the shield down. He's sitting there starting to throw stuff on the ground. I don't know if... Did we... Yeah, we deal with the last one, I think. Or did we not deal with it? Okay, yeah, we dealt with it. We dealt with it. Yeah, okay, for some reason, it decided to spawn another one right over there. So I think we deal with the second one here next to it. Or not. No. I think this is the point where I may have been like, all right, we're at 21%. No, we do deal with that one, don't we? Well, we dealt with something. I try to arrange that fire breath. I pop bubble here. No, I laid on hands. Now we're trying to deal with what's left. All right. Now I think this is where I say, the heck with it. 16%. We're just going to dodge. Even though I could have easily just kicked one bomb and dealt with two of them. But once you get to a certain point and you feel comfortable, you can get this stuff down, so. All right. Yeah, the case, that's what I did. We're at that certain percentage. We're at that crescendo where I have bubble up still, too. So I think there might be a chance of me popping bubble here. I'm not sure. I know my hand was getting shot. It was getting shaky. Okay, I hit one of the shields. There we go. And for some reason, the interface. So that's the fight in a nutshell. Right there. That mace is kind of interesting that I got. I want to try that out in keys. But for defeating this, you get a title. If you solo it, and you get a new mount color for this season's Delve mount. So that's pretty much this fight in a nutshell. Kick bombs, try to kite the guy around the outside of the room to the best of your ability. I mean, granted, sometimes it's not always going to spawn everything perfect where you would want it spawned. It's not. It does. That happens a lot, especially with this type of encounter. But rely on your immunities. Don't sit there and freak out when you're standing in the puddles of oil that are on the ground. They don't do damage, but it's like a slow. It's like walking on ice. So if you have a movement ability, use it there. I know other classes like Demon Hunters can double jump and glide out or dash out. Rogues can shadow step. Mages can blink, depending on what class you're playing for this encounter. Rely on your movement abilities. They will be huge for you. Now, Paladin, I have freedom and I have horse. So, but again, this fight is very doable. Just like I said, do the mechanics, burn through the shields. If you have the damage to burn through the shields, burn through the shields. Get it down, get it done, burn through the shields, be done with it. Also, try to get the guys to spawn as closely as possible. I know there'll be some issues, some instances of the dude spawning elsewhere, him getting the cronies to spawn elsewhere. But in that case, in that scenario, just do what you can with it. take out as many as you can, and if you're able to take out the last one that might be off somewhere over in another area, do that. And if you're as close as like maybe 16-15% and you feel comfortable with dodging the lines and have like a handful of ads out, that's fine. Now, I wouldn't suggest having the whole circle filled out, because that right there would probably cause you a problem, and you would try to dodge so many red lines and so much stuff would be coming at you, and it doesn't sound like it wouldn't be a good time at all. It would. So that's that fight in a nutshell. Comment down below, guys, if you've done the encounter. If you haven't done the encounter, how many attempts did it take you to get the encounter down? And if this video helped you in any way with your Underpin encounter. This is my first how-to, so like I said, be gentle. I will get better with them over time. I will be doing how-tos for World of Warcraft. I will be doing how-tos for Pokemon Go and any other games that could actually have like any kind of challenge like this in it. If I'm playing it, I will also be doing a how-to for that as well. So yeah, if this video helped you anyway, don't forget to subscribe. We are on our road to the first 100 over on YouTube. So it's a very exciting time. And comment down below if this video helped you out in any way, or how many attempts did it take you, what class you were playing to do it, or what class you were playing to achieve this content kill. Because I love this kind of stuff, and when when Legion's, when the Legion remix comes out, if the Mage Tower challenges are there, I'm going to be going back in there and do those as well. I don't think they're going to reward those artifact skins. I did those challenges a long time ago, and I really wish I would have done like how-tos for those. I have done a couple of the current Mage Tower challenges on stream over on Twitch. So if you guys want to check out what I do daily over on Twitch, I stream daily World of Warcraft and Pokemon Go content. I am a rep Paladin for the group Luster Bust and over on Storm Rage US for the Guild Eclipsed. So, and if you're looking for a home in WoW, check out Eclipse on Storm Rage. Fucking amazing guild, fucking amazing people. It's a great time. It's a very good time over there. I've been in the guild a little over 3 years, so if you're looking for a home, check us out. But on that note, like, comment, and subscribe over on YouTube. And for the next challenge for the next season, if this video does decently, I'm not expecting it. I hope it helps somebody. That's the only thing I can really hope. But if this video does well over on YouTube, what I will do is for the next season, we will do this again. When the visions come out, we will do that little walkthrough too. But I will also probably do the content live. I will also do the content live over on Twitch. So check it out over on Twitch. I'm live usually around 8 o'clock EST to whenever in the morning. And if I'm not doing that, I'm a lot of the time live during the day doing Pokemon Go content with the events with that also. I do that as well. So tune in. And if this video helped you out in any way, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you did to get the challenge down, if you actually completed it, and what class you were playing. But until the next video, guys, y'all have a good one. Peace.